So let's start just seated on our block or blanket. And you can sit cross-legged or kneeling like I am. We'll just be here about 4 or 5 minutes. As you arrive, close your eyes and just let your hands rest on top of your thighs or in your lap. And just take a few deep breaths in and out through the nose. And then let the breath settle into its natural rhythm. As you just listen on and begin to observe any sensations that arise. And as you take note of any feelings, physical or otherwise, that are coming up for you, just begin to let each of them go and start to focus in just on your breath. And if thoughts pop up or try to take you away from your concentration, just gently let those thoughts go and come back to the breath. All of that can come back into your mind's eye once practice is over. If it's important, you will remember it in an hour. Now begin to lengthen your inhales. Imagine that with your inhalations, you're growing a little bit taller. The space between your vertebrae is a little greater, a little more expansive. Envisioning that inhale, that expansion, on all 360 degrees, not just out in front of you, but side to side and in the back of your body as well. Can open your eyes. And we'll just begin with some gentle seated stretches to start. Taking your hands, interlacing all of your fingers. We're going to bring our arms up over the head. And you're just going to reach up. Elongating through the sides, ribs lifting away from the pelvis. Lightening your seat. You're lifting so energetically up towards the sky. Shoulders are becoming hot. Deep breaths here. And gently float the arms back down by your sides, clasping your hands behind you. Bringing the palms together, squeezing your shoulder blades together, lifting the chest up, gaze is up. Breathing into this position. Where is it easy to get the breath to go? Where is it difficult? Release your grip. Hands clasped in front of the body, reaching straight out. Shoulder blades come apart, squeezing the chest, chin to chest, gazing down at your belly as you reach energetically out in front of you. Rounding through the spine. And breathe. Each posture allows the breath to go to different places in the body, physically and energetically. And release your arms down by your sides, tenting your left fingertips down next to you. On an inhale, the right arm lifts up. Exhale to reach over, keeping heavy through both the sitting bones, opening up through the chest. So try not to collapse in on yourself. Press the floor away, gazing up past the elbow. Breathing into this lateral bend of the spine. Where is this opening up for you? Where is it closing off? When one part of the body opens, another one must close. On an inhalation, moving back through center. Exhale. Other arm comes into the bend. Using the gaze to open the chest as you look beyond the elbow, pressing down through the palm that's on the floor. Breathing into that side. One more inhale here, and exhale to bring the arm back down. Bringing the left hand across to the outside of the right thighs, the right fingertips temp behind, coming into a twist. Pelvis stays centered, square to the front. Every inhale lengthens your spine, lightening the body, and the exhale brings you more deeply into the twist. Breathing into this posture. Where is the air able to travel to? What new places is it getting into now? One final inhalation, exhaling through center to second side. One more inhalation here, exhaling back through center, coming into tabletop, moving your blocks to the side. We're going to cross one leg in front of the other. So it doesn't matter what side you start with, but as you come into this position, bring your ankles slightly away from your midline if you can. Spread the fingers wide underneath the shoulders and squeeze the legs tight together. We're going to do a reverse cat-cow. Inhale to press the floor away, round the spine. Exhale, extend through the spine, gaze up, chest forward. Inhale, rounding. Exhale, extending. Continue using your own breath. If you practice the Ujjayi breath, now is the time to bring it in if you haven't already. Creating a slight constriction in the back of the throat to create this pressure. You can hear very well each breath as it pulls in and is forced out. Coming back to neutral spine, begin to rotate and revolve around your center, stirring the pot, rocking around the wrists, moving at your own pace, at your own speed. Continue to breathe deeply. The Ujjayi breath creates an ocean-like sound with the breath. Switch directions. Imagine that new air coming in, sweeping all the staleness away out of your body. Brightening and awakening, rejuvenating, cleansing breath. Finding stillness, and bring your feet back behind you, keeping the leg crossed. So you're just coming from here to here. Tuck the toes under, cross leg, downward facing dog. Hold and breathe. Slight bend through the knees, pressing evenly through the palms. The chest moves towards the thighs, gazing between the ankles. Relax your head and your neck. Audible breaths. Taking your back leg, move it in front of your the other leg so that now you have recrossed your legs. So now they are the opposite position that they just were in, and drop back down to your knees. So now you should be second side in that leg twist, firming up through the inner thighs. Squeeze the legs together. Ankles move away from the body this way. And begin your reverse cat-cow. This time, if you would like, I'll show you from the side, you can speed up your cat-cow, getting a little bit more heat and energy in the body. So it's an inhale to round, exhale, extend. So begin to really pump the air in and out like a bellows. Feel the heat building. You decide your pace. Build the heat. And let it go. Neutral spine. Begin to roll through the hips, through the pelvis, rocking around circularly on the wrists. Stir the pot. Think about liquid. Think about water. Don't forget to breathe. Audible breaths, constricting slightly in the back of your throat for your inhales and your exhales. Switch directions. Don't try to be precise. Just think about a circle and move. Finding stillness in the hips. Bring the feet from out by your sides. Bring them back slightly behind you, keeping the legs crossed. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. And we'll uncross our feet so we're in a traditional downward facing dog from here, and drop back down onto your knees into tabletop position, starting a bird dog, opposite arm and leg. Inhale to extend, look up, reach out. Exhale to contract, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, drive the elbow and the knee together. Continue using your own breath pace, your own rhythm. Filling the entire breath with inhalation and then complete exhalation. Every last bit of air is out of the body as you contract. Feeling that contrast between the sensation of being totally full, reaching and expanding, to the sensation of that contraction, empty and hollowed out. And switching sides. Continuing to build the heat, loosening the body, making it supple. On your next exhale, bringing both legs, the leg and the hand in, you can sit back into child's pose, extended child's pose. Rest your forehead down on the mat. Feel the breath moving into the back of the body as the front of the body is closed off and the back of the body is now open. Audible ocean wave breaths. On your next inhale, coming back into your tabletop, tuck toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gliding through high plank. Exhale, lower the knees down. Inhale into side plank. Keeping the bottom knee down, 90 degrees in the bottom knee. Keep the bottom hip high, creating a straight line from the heart down to the bottom hand, up through the reaching fingertips, rebounding off of that bottom hand, press the floor away. Option to lift the top leg, toes down, heel up. Option to look at the palm that is in the sky. Breathing is not an option. Everybody breathe. Strong straight lines, integrity through the musculature, through the bones, through the ligaments. On your next exhalation, coming back through tabletop, downward facing dog. Coming up on your tiptoes in your down dog, tip toes, and then sinking the heels back down. 2 more times. Inhale into your tippy toes. Exhale, heels come down. Last time, inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, heels sink down to the mat. Inhale through your high plank. Exhale, lower the knees. Second side, side plank. Press that floor away. Option to lift the top leg, keeping the knee straight on the top leg, squeezing the muscles in the thigh. Proud through the chest, open, straight through the spine. On your next exhalation, coming back through tabletop, downward facing dog. It's an inhale to bring the right leg up, hips stay level. Exhale to bring the right foot to the outside of the right pinky. Drop the back knee down. Tenting the fingertips, open the chest, lift the chest, and move the chest and the pelvis forward. The knee starts to travel slightly forward. Top of the back foot can come down. Chest is proud, almost like we're getting into a slight back bend in this low lunge. Knee can fall slightly out to the side in this position. Where's the breath? Plant the left palm down. Take your right hand and press it gently into the inside of the right knee as you come into a twist, gazing behind you. Listening to the ocean wave breath. One more inhalation, and as you exhale, plant the hand, tuck the toe, downward facing dog. Paddle out the heels as needed. It's an inhalation to bring the left leg high. Exhale, swing the left leg foot to the outside of the pinky. Drop the back knee down. Top of the foot comes down. Tent the fingertips. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Squeezing the shoulder blades together will open the chest, closing the back, opening the front. Gazing out in front of you, pelvis, it glides, it shifts forward into the future, into your potential, into opportunity. Breathing here. Planting the right palm, taking the left palm, gently pressing into the inside of the left knee, looking behind you. Final inhalation, and as you exhale, plant the hands, tuck the toe, downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale to bring the right foot to the middle of the thumbs. Plant the foot, drop the back knee, top of the foot comes down. On your next inhalation, the arms will lift up over your head, keeping that deep bend through the front knee. Pelvis is shifting down and forward. Gaze slightly up, pinkies wrapping inward to keep shoulders away from the ears. Breathing here. Feel the opening through the left hip, squeezing through the right hip. One more inhalation, and as you exhale, frame front foot, tuck back toe, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, bring it through between the thumbs. Back foot down, knee down. Get organized, and on your next inhalation, the arms lift up. Hips traveling forward, chest lifting. The breath buoying you up, keeping you energized. One more inhale, and as you exhale, framing front foot, tuck back toe, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, walking your feet all the way to your hands. Exhale as you arrive, forward fold. Clasping onto opposite elbows, bend your knees, ragdoll. You can move around from side to side. Rock your weight forward and back gently into the balls of the feet and then into the heels. And then finding that center for yourself right in between back and forward, future and past. Release your grip and begin to roll up very slowly, one vertebrae at a time. The arms hang heavy and your head is the last thing to lift. Arriving in Tadasana. Hold here, looking down to find your feet directly under your hips, soft through the knees, slight pelvic tilt to lengthen the low back. Shoulders are relaxed, chest open, chin parallel to the floor, steady gaze straight ahead. On an inhale, the arms lift up over the head. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, right leg steps back, lunge, gaze up, chest up. Exhale, left leg goes back, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower down. Elbows stay in, tops of the feet come down. Inhale into back bend of your choice, baby cobra, full cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale through tabletop, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, bring it through into your lunge. Good. Hold here for just a second. Yes, fingertips are on the outside of the foot, gaze is up, chest is up. Perfect. One more inhalation, and as you exhale, the left foot comes in, forward fold. Inhale to rise up through your flat back, arms over the head, gaze up. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step left leg back, lunge, eyes up, chest up. Exhale, right leg back, downward facing dog. Inhale, glide forward, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg steps between the hands, lunge. Exhale, right leg comes in, forward fold. Inhale, lifting through flat back to rise up, arms up over the head, gaze up. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Beautiful. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, right leg steps back. Exhale, left leg follows, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot steps between the hands. Exhale, left leg follows, forward fold. Inhale, arms lift up over the head through flat back to rise up. Standing salute. Exhale, arms down by your side. One more time, leading with the left leg. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, high lunge. Exhale, right leg back, down dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower down. Elbows squeeze in, tops of the feet down. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg steps forward. Exhale, right leg steps in, forward fold. Inhale, lifting through flat back, arms rise up over the head, standing salute. Exhale, arms by your side, Tadasana. Hold and breathe. You can close your eyes. Good. If your eyes were closed, open them. Nice. Inhale, arms lift up over your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, the right leg steps back. Exhale, setting up for warrior one. Inhale into warrior one. Arms lifting up, shoulders relaxed. Hips square to the front. The right foot is at 1 o'clock. And ideally, your entire back foot could be on the floor. But if you're having trouble with that, it's okay. It'll come in time. Front knee over ankle. On your next exhalation, the arms will come behind your back. Interlace the fingers. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale through your back bend, bowing down, resting the front shoulder on top of the front thigh. Lifting up energetically with the fists, and the head and neck is totally relaxed. So heavy through the head and neck, firm through the legs. So we need the legs to be stabilizing us, to be supporting us, grounding us down. Squeeze and firm up the legs. On your next inhale, arms sweep by your sides. You're back into your warrior one. Exhale, pivot the back foot, warrior two. Back foot comes to 3 o'clock, 90 degrees. And you might want to lengthen out just a little, that's up to you. Gazing out over front fingertips. If you look down, we should be able to see that big toe. So try not to let the knee fall inward. Try to keep it out and aligned with the hip and the ankle. On your next inhale, straighten up through the front knee. Exhale to reach out over the horizon, and when you cannot reach any further, windmill the arms into your triangle. So if you'd like to use a block, this is a great time to do so. You can put it on the outside of your leg. And we don't want to be hanging on this shoulder, everybody, okay? Press whatever you're holding, whether it's your leg, the floor, a block, press away to get the shoulders packed down into the rotator cuff. Squeeze through the legs, squeezing the glutes, firm through that back leg. Pressing through the back foot on an inhalation, rising back up with the arms. And exhale to bend the front knee. Inhale to flip the front palm. And exhale to come into reverse warrior. Draping the back arm down the back leg, keeping a deep bend through the front knee so we don't want to end up back here. Keep that bend, squeezing through the legs. One more inhale. And exhaling back into your warrior two. Just a few more breaths. One more inhale, and on your next exhale, the arms will windmill down, framing front foot, moving through chaturanga. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. From your down dog, it's an inhale to lift the right leg, and an exhale to bring the foot through between the thumbs. Let's set up the back foot for warrior one on second side. And on an inhale, the upper body lifts, arms lift, and we'll be warrior one. Second side, make sure you switch sides. I think I did. So just a little, as we're here, it's really easy to kind of allow the hip flexors to tighten up. And by doing this, it just means that we're not having a nice neutral pelvis. So everybody, just make sure that the ribs are tucked. So the difference between like here and here, right? Shoulder stacked over the hips, that integrity through the spine, through the trunk, is so important. So just to keep that in mind. On an exhale, the arms can come down by your sides, hands come behind you, interlacing the fingers. It's an inhale to lift the chest back, bend, and an exhale to move through the back bend, tipping forward, resting the shoulder on top of the thigh. Completely relax your head and neck and squeeze through the legs, reaching up with the fists. The shoulder blades squeeze together as the chest and shoulders open and stretch. Don't lose the breath. On your next inhale, arms sweep back down by your sides, lifting up warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. And make adjustments as needed. Now make sure that front knee isn't falling towards the midline. On your next inhale, straightening through the front knee. Exhale to reach out. And then the arms come in 90 degrees into your Trikonasana triangle pose. Squeeze the legs, creating stability through the low body. Pressing down through the bottom palm, reaching up through the fingertips. Strong, straight lines of energy. Firming up through the back leg. It's an inhale to rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Bend front knee. Inhale to flip the front palm. And an exhale to move back into warrior, reverse warrior. Keeping that bend through the front knee. One more inhale, and as you exhale, arms will come down, framing the front foot through Chaturanga. Take your time here. Back bend. Meeting in downward facing dog. On an inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale to come through high plank, setting that right knee down behind the right wrist, pigeon pose. Lengthening out the leg behind you. And then sinking the weight towards that bent hip side. If you'd like to stay up high, if you feel that stretch there, then you may stay up high, that's fine. And if you'd like to come down low, coming onto elbows or maybe even resting your head. Imagine that the hip on the bent side is moving back and the hip on the straight leg side is moving forward. That's going to get you a little bit of a deeper stretch because what it's doing is bringing your pelvis into alignment for most of us. Noticing the breath. Perhaps it feels a little more open. You can feel it sweeping through all of the rooms of your house, so to speak. I like to imagine it like on a day like today, one of the first nice days of spring, you throw open the windows and that fresh spring air moves through each room, billowing through the curtains and riling up dust and just sweeping all of that out of there, all of the staleness and debris that has been piling up over the winter months. The breath just cleaning us out, cleansing and rejuvenating. And don't skip the complete exhales. Really take the time to totally exhale, drawing the belly in and up. And you can feel how that changes the sensation of your stretch when you truly allow your body to hollow out. It can bring you to a whole new place of sensation with the stretch that you're in. And we'll press up through the palms. Tuck the back toe. And lift the back knee, firming up through the back leg. We'll send the leg back into downward facing dog. On an inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale to glide through, placing the left knee behind the left wrist and stretching out through the back leg, the right leg. And coming into whatever position. Just because you did one thing on the other side doesn't mean you need to do it that way on this side. So just honoring how each side is feeling today. pressing up through the palms. Tucking the back toe under. Engaging the back leg. And then lifting into downward facing dog. This is our last down dog. Good. Coming down onto your knees into tabletop. We'll just cross the ankles behind us and come into a seated position. And I'm going to sit on my block for our wide-legged forward fold. We'll first just start with a butterfly before we go really wide. So, like how long your legs are in your butterfly is totally up to you. What I'm more concerned with is just keeping a nice long spine. And then from the hips, starting to come forward. So from the side, the difference is a tipping from the waist versus a tipping from the hips. So if I'm here, if I were to bend from the waist, it would look like this. Okay, so you can see just from posture standpoint, it's not the greatest posture. So I'm going to try to really, now I have really tight adductors, so I cannot make it very far. But I'm going to try to position myself in a way that I'm coming forward from my hips. So I'm trying to almost like maintain this back bend as I come forward. Whoo! Feels good. And this is my limit. So let's take a few deep breaths here. And slowly the shoulders stack back over the hips. And similar, we're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So we're just going to, not comfortable. Okay. And same idea. So you might just feel a stretch as it is. You might be like, okay, I'm good, you know. And that's totally fine. If you'd like to come forward, again, I just urge you to try to tip forward with a flat back as much as possible. Oh my goodness. And slowly lift the upper body, shoulders coming back over the hips. The legs will come out in front of you. You're just going to give a little shake, shake, shake. And then we're going to remove the block and come to lie down on your back, hugging the knees into your chest. A little rock side to side. Straightening out the right leg. Woo. And we're going to bring that left knee across the body into a twist. Now bring that right hip, scoot it underneath you, so back onto your mat, so that your hips are stacked one over the other. If you have a block, you can use it to put it under the knee if the knee is just kind of hanging out in space. It's really nice to have something under there. You can also, if you're coming into the twist, palms up, coming with your arms into a T. If your left shoulder is hanging out and your arm is just hanging out in space, bring your other block to support you under your arm. So you have that groundedness, that connection to the earth. And beginning at this point, letting go of that Ujjayi breath. If you're continuing that restriction, just let it go. Just allow the breath to come back to its natural rhythm, cadence, sound. We'll move back through center to change our stretch to the other side, lengthening out the left leg, bending through the right knee, and the right knee moves across the body. And the blocks will follow you. And moving back through center, we will come into Shavasana next, taking whatever final poses you might like to take. If you're ready to go right into Shavasana, do so. You can maybe come into Happy Baby for a few breaths if you'd like. Or if you're ready, just stretch the legs out, arms down by your sides, palms facing up. If you were just wrapping up with a final pose, coming into Shavasana now with everyone else. Closing your eyes if you feel comfortable. Giving your armpits a little bit of room to breathe. So don't have your arms like right by your sides. Bring them out a little bit. And settling into Shavasana, corpse pose, the ultimate passive yin posture, no effort. Doing a little scan of your own body to see if any small muscles are still holding or gripping, and just giving them permission to let go. Letting go of all control over the breath, just trusting your natural breath. Relaxing the small muscles around your face, around your eyes and mouth. And the Shavasana is not a meditation, so do not worry about thoughts coming in and out. Just try not to get attached to any particular thought. Just observe and watch what comes through your mind's eye. If you do find yourself ruminating or attaching yourself to a particular thought or feeling, just notice that and just gently release your grip on it. And just let it go. If it's important, it will come back. Begin to move your toes and fingers. Small signs of life fluttering back into your body. Take a deep breath. Bring your arms over your head and reach up like you're just waking up for the first time today. Feel the lungs expanding in this position, low back coming off of the floor. And then hug the knees in one at a time towards your chest, rocking onto the right side of your body. The right arm can come above your head, using it as a little pillow. And we'll stay here for just a few breaths in this nourishing posture of fetal position. Pressing down through the left palm with as little effort as possible, keeping your eyes closed, coming into your original seated position. This time, palms will be face up, resting in your lap, on your knees, on your thighs. We'll take a moment just to draw the awareness inward and to the breath. Noticing the difference in sensation from the beginning of class to now. Perhaps sitting here is not so torturous as it was when we first began. And this is what yoga really prepares us for, is seated meditation. All of that movement that we do traditionally would be followed up by several minutes or hours of meditation, of sitting. And sitting quietly with ourselves is really just one of the most important skills, I think, that yoga teaches us. And I remember when I first started practicing, I read all these books about breath and focus on the breath, and I would try to do it, and I just felt like I was going insane. I just had immense anxiety. And I did realize that after practicing the yoga postures, the asana of yoga, that I could sit much more comfortably after the practice. So it's a tool, really. Feeling the cool air on your palms. And our palms being up is a gesture not just of surrendering or yielding, but also of openness, of a trust that somebody's going to put something lovely into our hands, an opportunity, a gift. And we can't receive anything if we have closed fists, right? You need to have your hands open, right? Heart open. And that takes trust in yourself and the universe and those around you. So just imagining, obviously not walking around literally with open hands, because that would be strange, but just in your mind's eye, imagining, can you be more open, more trusting of yourself, not strangers necessarily, but just having that trust that this infinite pool of wisdom and love is inside of you, whether you feel that it is there or not, that it is. And knowing that, really, really knowing that. Bring your hands to your heart. It's an absolute honor to teach this yoga class and be here instructing you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Each and every one of you, I appreciate you so much. Namaste.